journey in the land of the Incas. Few other South American tribes are as fascinating as this old and legendary culture. Their domain once extended from today's Ecuador to the southernmost reaches of Chile and Argentina. Our first stop is Salta, capital of the Argentine province of the same name. Just outside the city, a cable car travels up a nearby mountain. From the Parque San Martin, it takes passengers up the Cerro San Bernardo. The 10 minutes journey provides a wonderful view of the city that has a population of around 460,000. There's a popular park on the summit. The view extends far beyond Salta to the mountain ranges of the Precordilleras that flank the high valleys of the Valle de Lerma. In addition to the beautiful scenery, the picturesque Cerro San Bernardo Park contains many indigenous plants and several fountains. The artistic and playful use of water were important to those who designed the park. The spectacular cable car returns us to the valley and to one of Argentina's oldest cities. The historic origins of Salta date back to the 16th century. Numerous buildings highlight the colonial architecture of South America. Due to its splendor, the San Francisco Church is one of the city's finest sacred buildings. The nearby Plaza de Julio is in the center of the old town and is another of Salta's popular attractions, and contains much tourist accommodation. Opposite the cathedral is the Cabildo, the former city hall that now contains the historic Salta Museum. In addition to the museum, the actual building, along with its inner courtyards, is a fine example of late 18th century colonial architecture. From the whitewashed Cabildo, we enter the city's main square that is known as La Linda, the beautiful one. The city possesses a large number of historic buildings, many of which commemorate Argentina's wars of independence at the beginning of the 19th century. The atmosphere of those times is still present in much of Salta. In contrast to the somewhat modest architecture of the Convento San Bernardo Cathedral, the statue built in honor of General De Güemes is truly monumental. From Salta, we travel from the former realm of the Incas towards the mountains of the Argentine highlands. The region provides a good escape from the hubbub of city life. The 150-kilometer journey from Salta to Cachi has much diverse scenery, including views of candelabra cacti, journey travels higher and higher, leaving both fertile landscape and hardy cacti far behind. The asphalt road ends in Chicoana. The cloud-covered land becomes increasingly rocky and barren. After a few kilometers, we reach the Piedra del Molino mountain pass that derived its name from an ancient millstone. Inside a chapel, there are some cigarette and coca leaves that have been left by the local Indios as a sacrifice for their goddess Pachamama. Pachamama, the personification of Mother Earth, is also a goddess of fertility. In South American culture, she is also a mediator between both the upper and underworld. This goddess continues to be worshipped in many parts of the continent, although Pachamama is often worshipped along with Christianity's Maria. Although the Spanish invaders did their best to destroy the heathen traditions of the indigenous Andes people, part of their culture has survived right up to the present day, but in a new form that has been adapted to modern times. We arrive in the village of Cachi that has a population of around 2,000 and has retained much of the atmosphere of colonial days. There's a fascinating archaeological museum in the main square. Next to the museum is an impressive church that highlights the magnificent colonial architecture of former times. Most of its interior is constructed of cactus wood. Long before the arrival of the Spanish, Cachi was founded by the Diaguitas tribe, who developed terraced agriculture. As in Salta, Cachi also possesses various monuments in honor of numerous Argentinian heroes of independence. We continue our journey through the land of the Incas, along a gravel road and into the mountains. Some of the roads in this region are only accessible when the weather is dry. Many of the roads here were once used by the Incas, who had a large network of paths and roads. It's believed that the road system of the Incas measured around 40,000 kilometers. There were two main roads. The first, a 5,200 kilometer main road of the Incas, extended from Cusco in today's Peru, across the Andes to as far as Quito in Ecuador. The second important Incan route measured around 4,000 kilometers and ran parallel with the coast. Both routes were connected via several side roads that traveled east to west. The journey through the former realm of the Incas is popular with wine lovers, and the Bodega Colome is the highest vineyard in the world. The vineyards range from between 2,200 and 3,000 meters above sea level. The Bodega Colome vineyard was founded in 1831 and is the oldest in Argentina. This fertile landscape was cultivated by the Indios long before the foundation of the vineyards. The Bodega Quilmes uses biodynamic growing techniques as well as the most up-to-date technologies for the production of its remarkable wine. In addition to traditional varieties of grape, the vineyard also has an experimental area in the nearby Altura Maxima that is around 3,000 meters above sea level. Due to the use of modern technology, the Bodega Quilmes produces 1.3 million bottles of wine a year. The estate also boasts its own hotel, restaurant and shop. We continue our journey along a dusty road past several old and abandoned farms towards Molinos, a village in northern Argentina. Picturesque ruins indicate the demanding way of life in this remote area. However, despite this, there are still a number of farmers here. Molinos, the capital of the departamento of the same name, is situated 2,000 meters above sea level and is a sleepy village with a population of 2,500. Despite its remote location, Molinos has a long history, as it was founded in the middle of the 17th century. Up until the beginning of the 20th century, this tranquil village was located on one of the most important trading routes between Salta and Chile. Molinos features an important old colonial church that was built in 1659 and became famous as it contains a mummy. We cross the Rio Colchaco, that in summer is more of a trickle than a river, and continue our journey through the land of the Incas. We're in the province of Salta and pass by traces of bygone times, such as this old mill that dates back to the 17th century. 5,000 kilometers long, Route 40 is Argentina's longest road, yet only half of it is paved. It travels in a north-south direction and passes numerous of the country's well-known landmarks. The north of Argentina features much unspoiled nature and fine mountain scenery. A special highlight of this section is the famous Quebrada de las Flechas, Arrow Canyon. Characteristic of the landscape in Arrow Canyon are numerous sandstone formations that dominate the narrow valley that is located between Angastaco and San Carlos. When the Spanish conquered this region, the Valles Calchaquíes was still partly inhabited by the local Indians. The Calchaquía Indians lived for centuries under the rule of the Incas, before the Spaniards in turn defeated the Incas, a fact that gave the Indians a degree of independence for some time. Close to Arrow Canyon is the former center of the Cachi culture. Only a few ruins remain of the former mountain fortress of the Quilmes. The independence of the Cachi Indians was short-lived. Due to the remoteness of the valley, the Spanish came here only in the 17th century and overpowered the primeval inhabitants of the valley. In 1667, the Spanish conquistadores succeeded in capturing a large fortress and overcame the Indian people. The fortress provided living space for approximately 2,500. The Indios in the valleys of Cachi lived mainly from agriculture. However, it was agriculture that led to their downfall, because the Spanish chased their horses through the cornfields of the Indios and destroyed their harvest. The destruction of the harvest and the eventual starvation of the tribe brought the Spanish conquistadores success after 35 years of war. The Quilmes fortress subsequently fell into decay. Just before we reach the town of Cafayate, the road improves. Cafayate has a population of 10,000 and is now a vine-growing area, well known to foreign tourists. The picturesque town of Cafayate, meaning tongue of the Cachano Indios where the sun is buried, was founded in 1840. The founder of the town, Manuel Fernando de Arambro, carried out his mother's request and built a sanctuary here. The colonial church is the only five-aisled church in this region. Around the central plaza, numerous craftsmen sell their products. Traditional woven goods are made here. It's possible to see the goods being made and to learn of the old arts and crafts that have a long tradition in northern Argentina. Further workshops specialize in ceramics. The tourist industry has flourished here for many years and is an important source of income. A walk around the market square provides a good insight into the architecture and daily life of this small town. Cafayate is an ideal place in which to relax from this tiring journey through the land of the Incas. From Cafayate, we continue our journey on Route 68. The reddish, shining rocks of Quebrada de las Conchas Shell Canyon can be seen from a distance and are a captivating sight. The beauty of the red sandstone is quite remarkable. Numerous parking spaces along the road are ideal places from which to take in the magnificent rock formations. Shell Canyon is 80 kilometers long and is one of the scenic highlights of the Argentine province of Salta. The scant rainfall throughout the year in this desert-like region becomes evident in the dried-out riverbed of the Rio Cachi. The large variety of red sandstone formations stirs the imagination, and many of them have their own names. The Ruta Nacional crosses the entire valley of the Quebrada de las Conchas. Another spectacular attraction of this region that is also very popular with visitors is the narrow Anfiteatro Canyon. The canyon is well known for its fine acoustics. Indeed, the echo created by this natural amphitheatre is quite outstanding. In addition to its unique acoustics, the narrow canyon has 100-meter-high rock walls. Little sunlight penetrates the dusty depths of the canyon. El Anfiteatro in the Quebrada de las Conchas really does live up to its name. Following the Ruta Nacional 68 for some kilometers, we arrive at another landmark. Garganta del Diablo, the Devil's Gorge, is also a fascinating canyon. The untouched rock scenery and total silence that surrounds this place creates a unique and almost magical atmosphere. For those who wish to explore the scenery at close quarters, many walking trails are available. The mysterious Garganta del Diablo attracts a large number of visitors. Ruta Nacional 68 is not only important due to its splendid scenery, it's also an important connection between the remote valleys of the Valle de Lema and the Valles Calchaquíes. Returning to Salta, we visit a large monument that can be seen from afar. It is a reminder of the historic Battle of Salta. Many souvenirs are offered for sale, including a good selection of arts and crafts. Here, the contrast of the tranquility of the unspoiled mountain and desert landscapes could not be more noticeable. Noisy crowds fill the streets. In the evening, Salta shows its other face. The illuminated facades of its centuries-old colonial buildings are particularly attractive. The charming combination of both old and modern buildings is a wonderful sight and the crowning glory of our journey. A journey through the land of the Incas comes to an end. Only a little remains of the former great realm of the Incas, whose religion was eventually replaced with Christianity. However, their magnificent landscape has most certainly survived.